the chances that you and I are sitting in this garage full of paint, singing music together? You're from Jamaica.
Yeah.
I'm from 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I try not to think about time and space too much, even though that's where we exist. So what are the odds? I think the odds are great, man.
I like that.
We are here.
I like that.
We are here.
Yeah.
We are here.
So,
yeah, man. We are here. And I'm happy to be here too.
Yeah. Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, man. So
thank you.
It is to be. So
yeah.
Yeah.
How we technically met is very interesting. It was through music.
Yes.
No other way. Clatta Bumboo?
That works if that's how you hear it.
Clatta Bumboo and Roots Government.
If that's how you hear it. If that's how you hear it, it
Clatta
works.
Bumboo and Roots Government were playing at a private event. Brendan and I were actually leaving with our artwork from the Providence flea market, and I heard this bumping bass. And I was like, wait a minute. The second I walked outside, I was like in motion. You just don't hear this music here. You don't hear that quality and that depth of music here, at least my experience. Brendan and I actually sat and watched the entire show from across the street.
Yeah, the two guys on the chase on the side of the street.
Could you see us?
I could see you from the stage. I could see you from the stage. And the bass player said to me, well, if no one is enjoying this, those two people on their beach chairs, usually the people on the beach chairs out front is having a blast. They're staying for it. So yeah, man, I could see you from the stage.
I love that.
Yeah, man. Cool.
I remember thinking in that moment, I was like, what better place in the world is there to be than right here?
That's humbling.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's humbling. That's very humbling.
Yeah. That depth and dimension to the music, you don't make that up.
True.
You just don't make that up. You can't go to school and learn that. You can't.
It's not a manufactured sound. So
it's not a manufactured sound. Where does that come from?
So I would say my music comes from me, and that's not a arrogant way of saying it.
My art comes from me.
It comes from me.
Yep.
And then it begs the question, what defines me? Who am I? So I was born in Jamaica. I was born in quote unquote civilization. I was born in the township of Savannah Lamar in the parish of Westmoreland. And I grew up in Moreland Hill, which is a mountain village, and it's on the edge of a plantation.
Mm.
I don't know if you know much about African-American spiritual or plantation life.
Mm-mm.
People sing to make the work lighter.
Yep.
People who do domestic work in the United States, they get into trouble because they sing in the quote unquote employer's place of residence.
Yep.
And that could bring a good aura or a bad juju,
Yep.
So who am I? I am the kid who would see the elders sing to make the work lighter.
Yep.
And inquisitive, very curious, I would pick up on those melodies. That's the root of who I am. My music is my antidepressant. My music is my anti-anxiety. My music is my purpose.
Yep.
And the more I get a chance to speak on the sound, it's an opportunity to underscore it, because my music is me. Any song that I've come up with, organized, recorded, and distribute, I'm confident that that's the message I'm trying to bring across. And if someone can relate, then great. I am doing this for me. The music is for this broken person who is looking for a vehicle forward. What I've achieved so far, I think I have a vessel that has a sturdy hull. And music is my experience. It's the message that I hope other, especially third world people can relate to.
Yeah.
Third world people living in the United States, going through the struggles of the first world.
I love it.
I do hope they can relate. It comes from my childhood. It comes from plantation living. It comes from third world living. It comes from the shock of coming to the first world.
Yeah.
It comes from the change I want to see.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love it.
It's me.
I love how you refer to the first world as the jungle. I mean, every time I hear it, it just makes me smile inside. I'm like, if this isn't the jungle, what isn't?
Yeah, well,
right?
Then you confirmed it. I was just going to ask you if you disagree.
No. There's no disagreement.
Yeah.
I was thinking when you said you were listening to the plantation,
mm-hmm.
Where's that music coming from? That's coming from the ground. That's coming from the soil, the air around their ancestors.
Yeah.
It's so organic.
Yeah. It's coming from, it's coming from their plight.
Yeah.
I do hope that it will change. Like now that we're living in the information age where people will do research, take the opportunity to search and research to realize that anyone who is of dark skin, your ancestors didn't come from North America or the New World, So you have a song,
Yep.
and I have a song. So the people on the plantation, they didn't have a hymnal or a list of songs.
Yep.
It's maybe it's from the slave ship, maybe not.
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But we know what the purpose of it was.
Well,
it was to make work lighter.
Yes, and then one of your songs you said, I listened to my ancestors to find the melody, and then I my brothers to find the harmony. I was like,
someone's
drop
listening.
the mic. Drop the mic.
Someone's listening.
Oh my God, come on.
Someone's listening. Yeah.
I used to listen to Bob Marley playing. I remember Bob Marley like playing poker. I used to play poker with my friends, and I would that was like the thing. You make sure you weren't bluffing. You know what I mean? Like you had to put your music on, go into your little box so no one would take your 10 cents. It's ridiculous. I just remember loving the music. And then as I got, as I kind of got older, it's so funny. The music, roots reggae music specifically found me. I wasn't even looking, and boom, Clinton Fearon pops up. Living is an art. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's this guy saying? It's just so profound. And then that day that I saw you guys was just blown away.
It's a Clinton, when you look at, the people you're drawn to, or the sound you're drawn to, Clinton Fearon, what I admire about him, he is such a brother's person, or or a brother's keeper. And his approach to music kind of transcends culture or transcends nationalism
100%.
or nationality.
It's not genre.
So this man, this old farmer,
yeah,
this veteran, this legend can just go with his box guitar anywhere on the planet
and make people smile.
And he is solid enough to get a group of brothers together.
100%.
A Japanese guy, a guy from Spain, wherever. Yep. So I look to my ancestors to find the melodies. There's something deeper happening in all of us. And all of us have a voice. One man's voice may be coming from the pain that was actually inflicted on him.
Yep.
Or I think I'm a conduit. Call it a ancestral conduit, if you want to call it that,
There is so much of that recycled. I mean, the energy's here.
It's here.
It's here. And who's picking up on it? I don't know.
Energy cannot be destroyed,
nope.
and it cannot be changed. It's what it is.
Here.
Yeah, it's what it is.
It's who's picking up.
So this works for me. My collaboration with Authentic Abstraction works for me because that's the harmony.
Yeah,
that's
the same frequencies.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And when something pops up so organically, like two white dudes on chases in front of a reggae show, the essence of it was to collaborate.
Yeah.
To give, to get.
Yep.
Yeah. And here we are. We're sitting here talking about music and talking about collaboration. So the harmony of which I speak in Chosen, this is it. Yeah. This is exactly what it is. Wow. It's not about finding somebody who has dreads or somebody who says Rastafari or somebody with my complexion. No. It's this. This is exactly what it is.
Whew, I don't smoke, but I think I need a cigarette now.
Really?
Thank you.
Voulez-vous cigarette?
Thank you. That means
yes,
a lot.
Man. Yes,
that
man.
Means a lot. As I've grown as an artist, I'm starting to understand more about, kind of tuning in to things, tuning in, tuning out when that's appropriate, because if you're in too much, that's not good. If you're out too much.
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation. You're out too much, you can betray yourself,
Yeah, I think it's Barry's Hammond that says, one step ahead and you're out. One step behind and you're down. So one step ahead and you're out, one step behind and you're down. So you have to be right here. You have to be right there. You're I think the line is you have to be where the spotlight is shining in your center.
Right there. That's so good.
You have to be present,
that leads me kind of, to why did you choose to donate your time, your band's time, which is precious, and your art, which is precious, to this organization? I mean, that's humbling.
So Sharon Agar helps me, like, very close to me. We talk about almost everything as it relates to, direction, purpose. When I decided I was going to play Narragansett Brewery with Authentic Abstractions, it didn't matter if I was paid. Sharon and I talked about it, and she said, these guys are cool. Let's explore it. Think of how you met. Think of what they're doing. The question was, does this feel like something you want to be a part of? Does it fall within your system of thinking, This is just another opportunity to be harmonious, bro.
Yeah.
I
hear that.
And for all the help that I've received with Clatta Bumboo and Roots Government in terms of musicians not being at home with their families, producers taking on the charge of making sure that I have a project. If I'm to worry about just the financial piece of it, then what kind of harmony is that? I trust what you're doing too. I think that's a big part of it.
Thank you.
I trust what you guys are doing. I think it sits well with my direction, and
the energy is the same back. I know that the core, the root of it is rooted in this idea of self-exploration, self-growth, and the truth and the knowing that you are good, and sharing that goodness with the world. And I knew that from the second, And it's the same thing. I mean, it's Tim, it's Mike, it's Brendan, my brother Michael, Chris, everyone who's helped us. It's the same. It's just people who, you don't have to be a firefighter, you don't have to be a police officer or no one or a dispatch. People are just good, and whatever realm they're trying to be good in is good for me.
I would wish for more Rhode Island. I would wish for more creators, more musicians, all the people who are in the arts.
Yep.
The Rhode Island Philharmonic should not be out of reach to a budding artist. Reggae music is fluid. You can morph it. It fits for alchemy. You put it in whatever, put a little heat to it, and it will change. Yeah.
Yep.
You think of a city like Providence. Providence is a town, bro.
Very small.
It
is.
It has city status. Give it, and it has a capital status, but it's a town.
Yep.
If I'm playing and my eyes are open, the guy that's standing right there, I'm gonna see him in a restaurant.
That's a fact.
I'm having breakfast on the weekend in the street, and the first conductor of the Rhode Island Philharmonic is sitting behind me. I'm eating scrambled egg and toast, and he's eating scrambled egg and toast. I'm having orange juice, and he's having the same thing.
Yep.
But he's the conductor. What if we could have a conversation?
Yeah.
How many lives could we change?
I think what happens is there's these walls.
Yeah.
And like you said, gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because at the end of the day, it all exists right here.
Authentic Abstractions has a mission. Black River Sonics has a mission. It's the art first.
Yep.
Yeah. But with that said, there needs to be a level of collaboration.
It takes a village. It takes people,
But it always did. It always did take a village. It always did. That's the original formula. I get so frustrated with organizations, man. Like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to play with on, if people are going to see me if it's dark. And Sharon can attest to it, man.
Yeah.
I always come back to, but we're going to get a chance to play.
Yeah, I like that.
It always comes back to that.
There's all these different parts.
There's always different moving parts, and it frustrates you, But when it comes to a situation where we can have a conversation, you can say, man, I would like you to participate. Can you? I appreciate that. I appreciate the forward nature of the ask, or to say, this is what we're doing, and this is where we are, and this is where we're trying to go. but can you bring this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's all for the good. So it's going to work. It's going to work.
I agree. I agree. It actually, sometimes I actually get a little nervous that I bite off more than I can chew because I'm not going to stop and I don't know what I'm doing still.
That's why you're an artist.
Yeah.
That's the definition of an artist. I have
no clue what I'm doing and I'm not going to stop.
That's the definition of an artist.
I guess, yeah.
And the trick is when you get nervous and you feel like you want to do all kind of stuff,
yeah,
it's fine. Go to bed, wake up, recoil.
Yeah.
And if it's in the forefront of your mind, continue.
Time to go again.
Go again.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. And when we find results and we accomplish, and the lower self says, come down, you're getting too high.
Yeah.
You have to honor that. You have to honor that lower self. That self that wants to curl up and cry, for no reason. We cannot come up with a reason. Yeah. But that's the definition of an artist, man.
You just keep going.
Just keep going. Just keep going. And when you hear thank you, when someone says, thank you so much, thank you for the music, you just got paid.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
You just got paid.
I wrote this poem actually, and it was about how I have no idea what I'm doing. And every time someone buys a piece of my artwork, I feel sorry for them. Because I'm like, you fool, I have no idea what I'm doing.
But they can relate, man.
I know.
They can relate, man. We serve an energy or a purpose that is greater than us. And if your bow is pointed toward the sun, when you get there, remember, you just started, bro. You have a sturdy hull and be sincere when you're talking to the people who you wish to collaborate with. And it will come true. It will come true.
I keep getting this deep sense that there's going to be a day where I'm watching you on TV somewhere, playing somewhere, and I'm going to remember this moment.
Well, it's going to be on record, so I hope you play this over and over and over and over. And before you go to bed, you look at it and says,
I love it.
No,
I love it.
We are going places. There's no doubt about that. That's a given. But it's just the channels you take. How do you get in? I'm not the type of guy who's going to knock on one door too many times.
Same.
And it's not for laziness or for a lack of wanting to work. There are kindred spirits out there. There are people who feel what I feel.
So true.
And we're different upbringing. And it may be just on purpose, like wanting to do good, wanting to be good, wanting to participate, wanting to collaborate. That's good enough for me right now. I know who to bargain with. I know the people who to bargain with.
Yeah.
I know when to hold my stance and say, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to work. Authentic Abstraction, Black River Sonics and Clatta Bumboo music and all the musicians are ready to go. They trust me. They trust what I'm doing.
I love it.
So yeah, this is what we're doing. And how many times can I say it? It's going to work. So let's make it work, man. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I trust you too.
You do?
I do. I don't know. I don't think you need that from me, but I want you to know wholeheartedly. I hear it in your music.
I trust what you're doing. I don't know you well enough to trust. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I trust you too.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do.